You are welcome to Vindals Academy, and in today's lesson, we are going to concentrate on curve sketching. And this curve sketching, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the general form of cubic functions and recognize their key features such as turning points, interceptions, and end behavior. Number two, you should be able to know or learn or be able to position of turning points. You should be able to apply the position of turning points to your curve sketching. Number three, you should be able to use the effect of negative or positive coefficients on graph. Remember that this curve sketching centers only on cubic curve sketching, and in my next videos, I'm going to be doing on other quartic and fifth root curve sketching and also quadratic curve sketching. If you are ready, let's get into the video. Now, on today's cubic curve sketching, I'm going to focus on these four major lessons. If you're watching on TikTok, you can also follow the link and watch the full video on 1, 2, 3, and 4 so that you'll be able to learn how to do all of them and be able to sketch when you have a question like that. Now, go to my YouTube link. The link is there on my description. You follow there to my YouTube where you can have access to the full video. If you're ready, let's start with number one. First of all, some teachers will say expand all of them so that you'll be able to see them. No, I think they have done a bit for me. These you are seeing are factors of this function. So the first factor is this x minus 1. The second factor is x plus 2 and x minus 3. These are factors. So they have already done their bit for me. That simply means that I already know what my x-intercepts are. So what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to use the first step, which is called zeros of polynomial, which means I'm going to say if y is 0, what will be the value of x? Now, if y is 0, this equation is going to be 0, is going to be equal to x minus 1 in brackets, x plus 2 in brackets, x minus 3 in brackets. So for this reason, since all you need to do is to change your signs, therefore x is equal to 1 or x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to plus 3. That simply means that when y is 0, x are minus 2, 1, and 3. So these are the functions of x. So now, since you have these functions of x and the values of x-intercepts, so we have found x-intercepts. Oh, that was not a good spelling. So intersect. These are x-intercepts. Now, and also the y-intercept. So I have gotten the values of x. So the next thing I'm going to ask myself is leading coefficient. And this is going to be my step 2. We'll call it leading coefficients. Leading coefficient. So what is leading coefficient? I want to find out the highest power of x. The highest power of x can be found by, adding this one. This is power 1, this is power 1, and this is power 1. So that means y is going to be x raised to power what? 3. Therefore, the leading coefficient here is 1. The coefficient of the highest power. So since the coefficient is 1, let me show you what I mean by that. The coefficient of s cubed is 1. That means it is a is greater than 1. Therefore, it will now determine the shape. That means I'm going to use the leading coefficient to determine the shape of the curve. So what does that mean? It simply means that my curve is going to start from highest or maximum point, go to the minimum point and move this way. So that is it because it is positive. If x is maybe minus, if it is minus raised to power 3, it means that I am going to start down here and increase up like this. You see the difference? This is when a is greater than 0. This is when a is less than 0. So the leading coefficient gives you the shape of the cubic function. Now that we have been able to identify that, what I'm going to do now is, remember I still know my x-intercepts. My x-intercepts include -2, 1 and string. And this is when y is 0. So that I know this and I know the shape of my graph, I think the best thing to do is to get the curve on, right? What I'm going to do is, so first of all, I'm going to now draw my curve. See the curve? The curve is going to go this way. This is my y functions, and this is my x-axis, and that is y-axis. This is y-axis, not y function. Y-axis is the same thing as y function. And this is my origin, which is 0. So from my values of x, I'm going to have, this is going to be -2. This is going to be my 1. This is going to be my 2. And this is going to be my 3. Now, there is something I need to do right now. What I'm going to do is to, since I know that my leading coefficient is x, y is going to be plus x raised to power 3. Therefore, I know that my graph is going this way. So you see, this is how my graph is going. Now, this is, I know that means I'm going to start from different points. I'm going to identify the points. The point is going to be at this plus -2, I mean. Then another place is going to go is number 1 at this 1 and at this 3. Now, the question is, look at what, this is the main area that makes my lesson very special on this topic. Look at this. If I start from 2, I may go this way. This is the curve. But you see, there is a problem here. And before I talk about that problem, there is a function of y. When I have done when y is 0, let me also do when x is 0. If x is 0, then y is going to be +6. You know how I got that? If you put this place 0, put this place 0, put this place 0. So this is going to be -1 times 2 times -3. The answer is going to be +6. That means this is where the curve is going to cut the y-axis. So this place is -6. But there is a problem here. What if I decide to choose here? I will start from 2, move this way, move this way, move this way. Are we still going to have the same curve? What if I choose here? I choose to move my curve this way. Are we still going to have the same curve? So you see the problem? The problem is that I do not know my turning point. I don't know if I should turn. I know the 6. I know 6, but I don't know the turning point. This point where it's turning, this place is turning, this place is turning. So while with different people plot different, sketch different curve, and they are having different turning points. So that means there is something we need to deal with. That is to ask ourselves, where will this graph turn? So we're going to find the turning point. See what I'm going to do to achieve that. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, patience a little more. Now we still have our x-axis, which is very important, and my y-axis is going to be here. I'm going to call my y is here. So the next step is joining the curve. So before I join the curve, I need to make some conclusions. If I call this place -1, now I know my graph is going to start from here. All right. Now, but at x -1, where will my curve go? Will it be here or will it be here? So let's find out. So I'll go back to this equation, which is giving us y is equal to x -1, x plus 2, and x minus 3. So at x equal to -1, what happens? So this is going to be, x is going to be equal to -1 minus 1, then -1 plus 2, then -1 minus 3. So this is y is going to be equal to -2 brackets this is 1 and bracket minus 4. So when you do that, you are going to say that y is going to be 8. That means this y, so that means at point 8, this point 8 is where my turning point will be. Because at that point, y is 8. So it will get to that point because it is the coordinate of minus x. When x is minus x, y is 8. Therefore, I'm coming from minus 2. When I go from minus 2 like this, I will reach 8. Then this is where I'm turning. Have you seen that, man? So I will keep on going. When I get to 1, I don't know what 2 will be. So when it is at 2, no, 3, I think at 2, good. So that I will know whether I'm going to turn this way or I'm going to turn like this, okay? So I'm going to find that as well. So let me go back to my testing approach. This is one of the best approach, I'm telling you. So the next thing I'm going to ask myself is, where will this y be? What will be the coordinate of x with y? What will be the coordinate of x with y? So let me go back. I'll have y is equal to x minus 1, x plus 2, x minus 3. So at x equal to 2, what will be my y? So let's go. This is going to be 2 minus 1. It's going to be 2 plus 2. It's going to be 2 minus 3. So let's go. This is going to be y is equal to 2. No, 2 minus 1 is 1. This is going to be 1, bracket 4, bracket minus 1. So this is going to be y is going to be minus. So at y minus 4, 2, x is 2. So let me call this place minus 4. This is minus 4. So this is going to be the coordinate of minus 4 and 2. So I will now start here. You reach here, curve this way. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the curve for this function. Now, please, if you have watched to this point, maybe you are watching from TikTok or you're watching from Facebook, the complete video will be posted on my YouTube channel and the link is copied on the description of this video. Thank you. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it to teachers, especially teachers and even students who are teaching this subject, because I know how hard it is for most of them. This will be where I'll draw the curtain. Have a nice day. Now, if you're on YouTube, let's continue. So now the next question is going to be, okay, I have the next question. Good. This is the next question. Next question says sketch y equal to bracket x squared minus 2x bracket x plus 3. So when we have this question, we are also going to continue with our analysis. I'm going to run down the steps for you now because you're on YouTube, you're a special person, and I'm sure you are going to hit the subscribe button as well. So in this case, I'm going to say if y is 0, what happens? The equation turns to be x squared minus 2x. Then this is x plus 3. Everything is going to be 0. We call it zeros of y or zeros of polynomial. Now in this case, if two expressions are multiplying themselves and the answer is 0, either one of them will be equal to 0. So I do not know. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say x squared minus 2x is equal to 0 or x plus 3 equal to 0. So in this case, I'm going to factor out x minus 2 equal to 0. That means that x is going to be 0 or x is going to be 2 for this first one. Then under this one, I'm going to say that x is equal to minus 3 because I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides of the equation. Therefore, when y is 0, x is minus 3 0, and 2. These are the x-intercepts for this polynomial. Now that I have achieved that, the next thing I'm going to ask myself, if x is 0, which I didn't do immediately in the first part. So you see, this is my second step right now. So what will be my y? If x is 0, y is going to be what? Let's find out. This is going to be equal to, from this equation, I'll put 0 squared minus 2 brackets 0, then 0 plus 3. That simply means that y is going to be 0. Now, that means my second coordinate is y is going to be 0 and x is going to be 0. That means 0, 0. All right, so I have gotten the x-intercepts and I've gotten my y-intercepts. Then I need to ask myself what is called the leading coefficient. This is my step 3, leading coefficient. Now, leading coefficient, we're also going to tell me the shape of the graph. Remember, I keep saying that, the shape of my graph. Now, leading coefficient is, this is power 2 and this is power 1. When you add them, it's going to be power 3. Therefore, it's x raised to power 3. And because they are positive, we'll say that leading coefficient is 0 is positive. That means that a is going to be greater than 0. Therefore, my graph is moving this way. So, this is how my graph is moving. All right. So, all the analysis are done. Let's now fit in this thing in my graph. Let me move to the next part. If you're copying your note, that would be very good. So at this point, I am going to draw my vertical and my horizontal. This is my y and this is my x. Now I'm going to fit this point. This is my origin. So I'm going to put on the numbers because I think what are those values of x is minus 3, 0, and 2. So I'm going to have minus 3. So I will start with minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. So what are those positive values of x? X has the highest of 2. So I'm going to have that x is 1 and this is 2. Now, what is my y-intercept? Y-intercept is here. So let me make all the intersect I have seen. So this is intersect here. And then there is a 0 intersect because x is 0 as well. Then after x is minus 3, 0, and 2. The highest number is 2. Look at it also again. Minus 3, 0, and 2. Good. So there is no y-intercept is also there. So that means there are 2 intersects coming from that zone. Now, the next thing is, where will this, my graph, turn between minus 2 and 1? Is it turning here? Is this thing coming like this? Is it turning here? Or is it going like this? Is it turning here? Or is it turning like this? But I know it's turning from 0. You can't tell me what I'm drawing self. Excuse me. Let me fix it. So if this is going this way, is it going this way? Because I know it will come from 0. Or is it going this way and go from 0? But I think, okay, yeah, it's very important I find out to make this very professional. So see what I will do. Now go back to this equation. Let me use my favorite white. This is going to be, when x is minus 2, this is minus 2 all squared, minus 2 bracket, minus 2. I won't do much from here. So this is minus 2 plus 3. So this is y is going to be 4 plus 4 in brackets. This is 1, which is going to be what? 8. So y at 8 when x is 2. So when x is minus 2. So that was the enough. Remember, I'm sketching. So what I'm going to do, let me also check when x is 1. If x is 1, so I will say 1 squared minus 2 bracket 1, all in brackets. The next one is 1 plus 3. So this is 1 minus 2, all in brackets, 4, which is going to be minus 1 bracket 4, which is minus 4. So at minus 4 here, somewhere here, minus 4. Now, every analysis is done. Let me sketch. So I'm going to start, let me use this color. I will start here, move to this 8, come down to 0. Okay, so when x is minus 4, x is 1. When y is minus 4, x is 1. So this place. So this is my curve. So this is my end behavior. Negative negative infinity and positive infinity. So this is the curve for the second function, for the second equation. Let's go to the third one. Please, I would like you to try this. Tell me what you got on the comment section and tell me how the graph behaves. Let's move to the last question. In this last question, good, you will now see that something is different. We are having a leading coefficient with negative sign. Now, what I will do is, first of all, I will say when y is 0, what is my x? So this is going to be minus x squared bracket x minus 2 equal to 0. So we have that minus x squared is equal to 0, or x minus 2 equal to 0. That means x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 2. Yeah, that is just it. Then y is equal to 0. These are my points on the Cartesian plane. Another thing, if x is 0, what is my y? Y should also be 0 because everything is going to be 0. Y is going to be 0. I think there is one thing I was supposed to explain there in this equation, but I will use the second one to explain it. So let's keep moving. So at this point, I am going to find, the next thing I'm going to find is my leading coefficient. Now, the third thing, leading coefficient. Now, in summary, remember, whenever I'm solving this, I will always first find the y. When x is 0, what is y? And when y is 0, what is x? This is step 1 and 2. The third step is always the leading coefficient. Now, if you look at it, this is power 2 and this is power 1. My leading coefficient is going to be minus x raised to power 3. Therefore, the nature of my graph is going to start from here, up, down, then move this way. This is because it's negative cube. Right. Now, remember the ones I've been doing have always been from up, then down. But this one is down, up. So for this reason, let's go and fix our points. So what should I do? I think all the analysis is done. So I'm going to plot this. When x is 2, this is 1. X is 2 here. No negative sign. I do not have negative. Now, there is one special thing I'm going to explain here, and that is called multiplicity. Yes, it's multiplicity. It's how x behave, is how the curve behaves on the x-axis. Now, if the power of x is 2 and is staying on its own, it means that the curve will bounce through the x-axis and move up or move down. So that is how it's going to be. Now, therefore, I am going to start with my curve because there is no sign on the negative. So I'm going to start from up, bounce off like this, cross up, then move through 2 and go. That is this curve. But then there is something I didn't do. I'm supposed to find what will be the value of y when x is 1. So I can also do that. What will be my value of y when x is 1? So this is minus 1 square bracket 1 minus 2. So this is going to be, y is going to be minus 1 bracket minus 1. Therefore, y is 1. So I will remove this. So when y is 1, this is y is 1 here. So this will bounce off. At this point now, this is the point, then cross and enter 2. So this is the sketch I have for you on this lesson. Thank you for being part of this lesson and have a special time. But don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video and share it.